This is Johnny 5 on a budget continued. One thing that I will say is that I think it's worth it to spend money on things that are going to make this a lot less reinventing the wheel. So I did get the LED lip light kit from Jasen. It's got this cool 3D printable jig. I did mine in purple. It actually helps hold the LEDs all lined up in place while you solder them. I just completed soldering all the LEDs on. You can see that each group of LEDs also has a transistor and surface mount resistors and capacitors. There's also a little surface mount processor there. I have a visual impairment, so a very kind friend of mine did all my surface mount for me. I appreciate it very much. I was interested in taking on that adventure. However, someone was readily available and willing to do that for me, so I was not going to argue. But you can see the aftermath of the LED soldering. There's leads everywhere. The orange LEDs will go on in the next step. And there are 8 more red and green ones that will go right here in these empty holes where the voltage converter is, and those have to be cut before you solder them on, and they have to be soldered on to where they're not sticking up above the board at all. So I'll do those separately, but I think this kit is well worth it, and I'm enjoying building this. I have not built anything in a long time, so other things needed are this wonderful stuff called Kapton tape that will be put on the board, and the little voltage converter here before it's put on. I put tape on it to insulate the electronics from each other. So anyway, lip light kit in progress, and I'll take the LEDs out of the jig and show that.
5 minutes later.
So I did just undo these little bitty set screws here. They were used to hold this on the jig while I soldered it, and now I'm going to take it off and see how these look. So wow, very cool, very orderly, very neat little setup, that jig. And then I'll put the orange LEDs here in the front, and I'll put it back on the jig to solder them in place. Very nice though, that brings a beautiful result. It would have been very nerve-wracking to try to do those without the aid of this really simple little tool. It was one of the first things I made on my 3D printer. So Jasen's lip light jig, very, very clever. Highly recommended. Nice. Beautiful. The lip light kit is now mostly complete. I soldered in the last few parts last night. Added some orange LEDs to the front. Put all the missing LEDs back here in the back on the opposite side of the voltage, where the voltage converter is going to go. And that's that guy right there. Put on the adjusting gain adjustment and the oscillator. crystal there, and a couple of electrolytic capacitors that sit back here in the back. So mostly complete till I pick my voltage. I can't really test it till then, so hopefully that'll be pretty soon. And here's the housing that I printed, and it sits down in there pretty good. It's gonna have to be suspended, but it fits, but it would normally be suspended a little higher so that the orange guys line up with the screen in the front. So there you go. Lip light's mostly done.